Imagine being at the top of the world, a mogul in the music industry, only to find yourself in the middle of a shocking sex trafficking trial. This is the reality for Sean "Diddy" Combs. A titan in the music industry, Combs now faces serious charges including sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. A guilty verdict could mean life imprisonment. His defense maintains that his relationships, while unconventional, were consensual and part of a swingers lifestyle. Yet the prosecution argues that he used violence and power to coerce women into participating in sex parties, dubbed freak-offs. Combs has vehemently denied all charges, but as the trial continues, the testimonies of the witnesses are beginning to unravel a complex narrative. As the trial unfolds, the testimonies of the witnesses are painting a startling picture of the man once known as the king of hip-hop. Our first witness, a former hotel security guard, takes the stand. His account of a woman in distress call is nothing short of chilling. He paints a picture of that fateful night, describing a scene that would send shivers down anyone's spine. He tells us how he was investigating a distress call when he stumbled upon a scene that would forever be etched into his memory. He discovered Combs, a figure of fame and power in the hip-hop world, with a look that he describes as devilish. Standing next to Combs was his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, her eye a telltale shade of purple, a chilling tableau, a stark contrast to the glitz and glamour usually associated with their high-profile lives. This testimony, as harrowing as it is, plays a significant role in this case. It provides a first-hand account of the alleged violence, offering a glimpse into the dark world that Combs is accused of orchestrating. The defense argues that Combs has been violent, but his relationships were part of a swingers lifestyle, all consensual. But the security guard's account paints a different picture, one of manipulation, control, and abuse. The prosecution alleges that Combs used violence and exerted power over Cassie and others to coerce them into participating in sex parties he called freak-offs. This testimony adds credence to these allegations, showing that there might be more than meets the eye in this high-profile trial. Combs has denied all charges, but if found guilty, he could spend the rest of his life in prison. The stakes are high, the tension palpable. This testimony sets a dark tone for the trial, but it is only the beginning. Next up, a male stripper enters the stand. His testimony adds yet another layer of complexity to this already intricate case. This man, an entertainer by profession, steps into the courtroom with his own account of the events that allegedly took place. His testimony paints a picture of a world where power and violence were tools of coercion, a world where Sean "Diddy" Combs, the hip-hop mogul, allegedly manipulated women to participate in sex parties he casually referred to as freak-offs. He speaks of the women, their fear palpable, their voices silenced by the overwhelming presence of Combs. He tells of the parties where consent was blurred and where the women seemed more like prisoners than willing participants. His words echo the prosecution's argument that Combs used his influence and power to coerce these women into a situation they were not comfortable with, a situation they felt they couldn't escape from. He doesn't shy away from discussing the violence either. He testifies to witnessing firsthand the fear in the women's eyes, the bruises on their bodies, the quiet sobs that filled the rooms. His testimony supports the prosecution's claims that Combs was not only a player in this world, but the puppet master, pulling the strings and controlling the narrative. The male stripper's testimony is yet another piece in this puzzle, another perspective on the disturbing allegations against Combs. His words, his experiences, they all feed into the larger picture being painted by the prosecution, a picture of a man who allegedly used his power and influence to manipulate and coerce. As the jurors digest these testimonies, the question remains, is Sean "Diddy" Combs guilty as charged? As the courtroom empties, the impact of the testimonies lingers in the air. The trial of Sean "Diddy" Combs has taken a dramatic turn. Allegations of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution hang heavy in the room. The voices of the first two witnesses, a former hotel security guard and a male stripper, echo through the solemn silence. They paint a chilling picture, a woman in distress, a man with a devilish stare, a purple eye. The defense counters, painting a different scene, a consensual swingers lifestyle, not a monstrous trafficking operation. Yet the prosecution stands firm, alleging that Combs used violence and power to coerce women into participating in sex parties he called freak-offs. As the gavel falls, the consequences loom large. If found guilty, Combs could face life imprisonment. It's a harrowing thought for a man who once stood atop the world of hip-hop. In the face of such serious allegations, one thing is certain: the world of hip-hop will never be the same again. Thank you for watching Topics on Trend. Go ahead and check out another trending video on our channel here. Like, subscribe, comment, and share.